I'm going to do two things with the workbench tonight. Yay!
Okay.
Because I was going to do one thing, I'm like, this is kind of lame, and then we had to do something real quick before I started. I'm like, that's a good workbench. So
Okay.
I just wanted to cover real quick. Most brother machines come with two things, 2 feet. He's going to zoom in on that.
Is this the N versus the J?
N versus J. They look pretty close.
They look close, yep.
Do you know what the difference is?
One's got open foot here and one's
Yep.
over here.
But it's pretty, yeah, they're open, but the big difference is, what's that? This one here is an N foot. All brother come with an N foot.
Yeah.
I feel like the opening sequence of Rocky Horror Picture Show. And that's your J foot. That one
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, the big difference is they look, and they're pretty interchangeable, but the difference is if you look at them from here, and that. Now look at the bottom. Notice on the J foot, it's nice and smooth. Now look on the N foot.
What's that for?
That's for when you're doing embroidery and decorative stitches.
Why?
Because you've got, you see how you've got a little bit of a groove there?
Yeah.
So if you're doing like a decorative stitch, it's going to slide down the middle there and still press your fabric on the sides.
Oh, so it's like a little relief.
Yes, there's a little relief right in there on your end foot.
For the raised thread.
Yeah, for the thread.
And
Exactly.
that's on the
End foot.
end foot.
Yes, you can use it pretty interchangeably, but you're going to find if you're going to do any sort of decorative stitching on your brother,
Don't use the J foot,
use the end foot because you're going to get better results.
Huh.
That's.
But if I use the end foot when I'm regularly sewing, and I should use the J foot, no harm, no foul.
I don't think I honestly don't think you see a huge difference between them, but I will say on the because of the way that little relief there, if
Yeah.
you're doing some decorative stitches, say on like the cuff of a shirt or something.
That actually just showed better when you just did that. Like from this
Okay.
angle.
All right, we'll go
So
down
you
there
can
instead
almost
of
look like a sled with runners.
yes, we'll go down there instead of looking at my face. You could look at my belly now.
No, right now we're not looking at nothing. There.
Yeah,
Nope.
see, oh, down.
See, it looks like a little sled
See that little
See
groove
that?
right there?
with
Whereas
runners.
this one does not have the grooves.
Yep, interesting. I
So
did not
that's
know that.
so that's really the only difference. You can kind of see
Cool.
it there. That's the difference between the J and the N foot. And that's why the N foot's a little bit wider so that the runners will, because you're still going to be able to, your fabric is still getting pressed down, but,
How come this doesn't have the doohickey that this has?
oh, that has something to do with the way to lock it.
I know. How come that has it and that doesn't?
Because it's a J foot. I don't know. We'll cover that in another one when I figure
Okay.
that out. I'll share my knowledge when I know it.
Okay.
I know there's some, that was what I was going to
That's
originally
how-
cover, and that was very exciting. You're like, ooh. But I actually have something a little bit more useful. Because we were having a trouble with this machine.
Since it came in.
Since it came in.
And look at what I've done to it, trying to get it open. I
Is what we're running
scratched
into is the bobbin cover wouldn't pop off.
It. Yes, it would not.
I'm going to let Eddie zoom in here. Is you got it? Yeah, so the bobbin cover wouldn't pop up. It would just kind of sit there when we hit the lever. It would just kind of hit the
And
lever.
I would think it's
and
not
I just
up.
did it. Oh my gosh, this is what I hate doing. And so I've seen this happen on occasion with machines that the bobbin cover doesn't come up like it should. And it's an easy fix. And I've also seen another problem related to this. So I'm gonna, if you want to zoom in over here now instead of over there, because this is easier for me to do. This plate.
It only took him 2 months to fix this, by
Well,
the way.
'cause I
So we
just-
need to
yeah.
know how to do this ourselves.
So this is what your plate often looks like. And to pop the bobbin out, you just hit this over here, and that just pops out. One thing I see happen a lot, and it's really irritating to me when I have to go fix a machine, is people will will just slap this down like that. And what happens if you just slap it down, the spring release isn't there. So when you hit this, it doesn't spring up. So if this is sitting in your machine flat, it's hard to get it off. What you'll notice over here, see that little spring right there? Whenever you put your bobbin top on, there's a little lip that you're putting under there. That's what's popping your top up. Whenever that spring there is what pops the lid open. Well, that worked out well. But yeah.
So this spring wasn't up enough?
Yeah. So no, it was up too much. So if you go back to this, If that spring is too high, what's happening is it's not pressing the corner down to pop it out. So what you want to do is just bend that down a little bit. But if you bend it down too far, what happens is the tab doesn't go under it when you try to close it. So then there's no spring load at all when you hit your release button over here. So that little spring right there, like I said, if it's sitting too high, you're not going to have a very good spring when you open it. But if it's too low, you run the risk of every time you try to, you have to fight to get this to close, because you see how I want to put that edge there right in that hole?
Yeah.
So if I put this spring too far into the hole, it doesn't slide in as easy. But if you're having
It's all about the spring.
So if you're having issues, this isn't that your bobbin case isn't popping up well, just push that. Take a screwdriver. You can even do or a pin or something, and just push that down a little bit. And what that'll do is that'll give you more leverage and pop that up better.
I wish I'd known that. I've been fighting with this.
I know.
Look at, I made all sorts of scratch marks trying to get it open with scissors.
Becky,
Yeah.
Victoria knows why the J-foot has that little.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, look, yeah.
Victoria, the button on the J-foot locks so the foot levels out over a thick seam. This doesn't lock. This one doesn't lock at all.
It only works when you're going over the seam.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And you
So it
push
allows
that
the
in.
foot to pivot over
Yeah.
thick seams. This one won't do that?
No,
No, you push
because
that
that's not
little
designed to go
spring
over
in.
thick seams.
I still don't, I understand what you mean by the pivoting, but I don't understand how the spring makes it do that. So I'll have to look at that more. I believe you,
just push that-
Victoria.
You just push that black button in.
Yeah, and it'll.
Oh, you have to manually push the
Yeah.
black button?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you,
I knew-
Victoria.
I knew it had something to do with locking. I didn't know why you'd ever
You
want to lock
actually
it.
push
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
in? I did not know that. I thought it was to put the foot on
Yeah,
and
if you-
off the machine.
When you have it on your ankle here, it'll actually.
Yeah,
It
oh, I
hits
did
the
not know
leverage, yeah.
that. Okay, that's pretty cool. Thank you, Victoria.
Yes, Victoria.
Yeah, nicely done. Learn something
Yeah.
new. Cool.
We learn something every day.
That's kind of, well, not every day, but we try.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.